So Chris Brown is making headlines right now. He broke the record for the highest grossing concert for an American black man with his Breezy Bowl 20 tour. And it's making people ask, should Chris Brown perform at the Super Bowl? And this is my answer to that. Does he have the talent to? Yes. Will it happen? No, absolutely not. Never, ever, ever will Chris Brown ever perform at the Super Bowl. And it's really sad to say that, but it's so true, you guys. It's so true. It's nobody's fault except for Chris Brown's. You know what's crazy is this achievement, the concert sales numbers, just proves to show that Chris Brown has the capacity to carry a performance like that. We all know that he has the fan base to carry a performance like that. His music catalog and name recognition is insane. Everybody knows a Chris Brown song. Everybody knows who Chris Brown is. More people know who Chris Brown is than who Bad Bunny is. I am certain that more people know who Chris Brown is than who Kendrick Lamar is. His name recognition is crazy. He's been around for a long time. But you know what the problem is with Chris Brown? Chris Brown cannot stay out of trouble. And I thought that the reason why he had so many problems with his career was because of the Rihanna situation. And that is the biggest one. But people are usually willing to forgive, and companies that provide sponsorships and opportunities like performing at the Super Bowl can look past things that happened when you were extremely young. But Chris Brown continues to get in trouble, like an insane level of trouble. People like to talk about how Chris Brown is blackballed, how Chris Brown's career was shut off by the Rihanna situation. And I was one of them, but that's not the entire truth. Chris Brown's career was stifled, meaning he's still an extremely huge celebrity and star that makes a lot of money. Still to this day. But he should be even bigger than he is now because of how long he's been in the game, because of not only his relevance when it comes to making hits and good music, but his talent when it comes to performing, when it comes to singing. You're talking about a performer who arguably is actually more talented at getting on stage and dancing than Beyonce. A good enough singer to where he can carry a tune and it sounds good. Is how many male R&B artists can you think of that can actually do that? And on top of that, makes hit music. Not just a talented individual that can't produce a hit, but someone that can stay relevant and make hit music for a long time. What would hold a person like that back? Everything that Chris Brown has been involved in that's led up to where we are now. Now, this isn't everything, which is the crazy part. But Chris Brown melted down and smashed a glass window backstage at Good Morning America in 2011.
Going on now is that recently the restraining order against you that Rihanna had issued has been relaxed. Have you all? You can go to events and be in the same room. Have you all seen each other? Been around each other?
I mean, not really. I mean, it's not really a big deal to me now as far as that situation. I think I'm past that in my life, and I think today is the album day, so that's what I'm focused on. So everybody go get that album.
Have you been able to? How have you been able to?
I've been focusing on this album, you know. I think this album is what, you know, I want people to hear and want people to really get into. So definitely this album is what I want them to talk about and not the stuff that happened 2 years ago.
Okay, he wanted to focus on the album. Well, after the interview, off stage when he was done performing, ABC reports that the show's hair and makeup staff called security because they heard loud noises coming from Brown's dressing room. A window in Brown's dressing room was smashed, and that caused shattered glass to fall onto the street below in Times Square.
He punched a man in the face outside a DC hotel in 2013, allegedly threw a brick through his mother's car window shield in 2013.
It hasn't even been 2 weeks since Chris Brown left rehab, but he's headed right back. The singer was reportedly kicked out of an anger management rehab facility in Malibu on November 10th for throwing a violent hissy fit during a family therapy session. According to Brown's probation report, his mother was trying to convince him to stay in rehab for extended treatment, but he apparently didn't like that suggestion and decided to throw a rock through her car window, completely shattering it.
Punched Lizianne Gutierrez in the face after she tried to get a picture with him on New Year's Day in 2016.
He can confirm that the Littlemore singer is involved in a battery investigation after an assault took place at the Palms Hotel in Las Vegas.
A restraining order was filed by his ex-girlfriend Karrueche, remember Karrueche, in 2017, who alleged that Chris Brown repeatedly harassed her, punched her, threatened to kill her and her friends, and pushed her down the stairs during their relationship. His ex-manager sued Chris Brown in 2016 for punching him multiple times in the head and neck. Chris Brown was sued for SA in 2018, settled outside of court, arrested for sucker punching a club photographer in 2018, detained in France for alleged SA, sued by 4 concert goers who claim Chris Brown and his entourage attacked and brutally beat them. Not only that, right now he's fighting a case in the UK where he allegedly assaulted a music producer in 2023. Chris Brown isn't not going to perform at the Super Bowl because he isn't talented or big enough. I honestly am a person who thinks that if Chris Brown were to perform at the Super Bowl, that it might be the best Super Bowl performance in modern history. He's not going to perform because of his own character. And that's just the reality of it. Big brands like that are allergic to public backlash and brand tarnishing actions. And that's what Chris Brown does. What's funny is things have been pretty quiet for him outside of the case that he's dealing with in the UK. And this conversation about him performing for the Super Bowl starts to come around. Last year, the Grammys gave him a nod, awarding him the R&B Grammy Award. And he's coming off a record-breaking tour. Bad Bunny performs, and Chris Brown makes a status, "Look like they need me." Of course, this sparked backlash, was accused of being tacky, just the wrong thing to say at the wrong time. Like, who's his PR person is what I wanted to know. Who's his public relations person? Whoever his public relations person is, fumbled Chris Brown's whole entire image. Then he came back after he got the backlash that he got and posted, "I love pissing y'all off." So what do you guys think? Do you guys think that Chris Brown should perform at the Super Bowl? Do you think that, even with all of this being said, that the Super Bowl should overlook that? Do you think that he's being blackballed for a good reason? Or do you think that the blackballing is justified?